Okay, welcome Year 11 to your revision. Now, these are then the instructions to make sure that you can use the website as efficiently and as effectively as you need to. Now, you've obviously clicked on Year 11 Combined, right, and this is then the video that you're watching at this moment in time. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you plan in to be able to do 2 sessions a week, okay, in your revision. This button here, where it says week 1, doesn't go anywhere, right? It's just there for decoration. It just tells you which week it is. What you need to do is you need to click on session 1, and what it'll do then, it'll take you to the first kind of set of instructions, activities that you need to do. This is a 15-week program, right? So you've got to make sure that all of it is done before your first exam. Now, a typical one, so this is session number 1, which is all about cell biology. It's kind of broken up into a number of different things. What I would do is I would play that video first, which is the knowledge test questions. All right, go through those questions, write them down into an exercise book, onto a piece of paper, and make sure that you got the answers, which is the facts. Once you've gone through the questions, check your knowledge using the answers. Anything you've got wrong, study, remember, then I would then play that back again. Following on from that, I would then press session number 1. And so what session number 1 is, it comes with 5 more extended questions where you need to write out the questions and then write down the full answers using scientific terminology. In addition to that, there's going to be required practicals. Both, and this happens to be 2 required practicals on this one, sometimes there's none, right, because of the topic. You need to write out the required practical for microscope and the required practical for osmosis. And you need to go through the method, the variables, the equipment, what you actually do in the experiment and what the goal of the experiment is, how you're actually going to record your results and what your results are going to tell you, and what are you going to draw. You're going to draw a graph, a line graph, a bar chart, which is very unlikely. Okay. Then, if you want to do even better, there is a section at the bottom that I've written down there as optional, right, which is above and beyond. And in those, there are short questions, right, but the short questions kind of show a little bit more understanding. The kind of questions are slightly harder the way that they're phrased. Okay, so that's a typical session in a week, in week 1. And there'll obviously be 2 of those during the week. Another session could be exactly the same, where you do your knowledge test questions first, then you do your knowledge test answers, then you do the extended questions, which is session 5. But in addition to this, because obviously equations are incredibly important, I've then started off doing some equation practice, questions for you to try. And what you need to do is you then need to find, remember, write down the equation that's required with the units, and then the answers, and then go through with it. And as you go through all the different sessions, the questions get harder and harder. Also within there is some practice exams. Now obviously exam technique is absolutely vital. So play session 8. Okay, and what it'll do, it'll give you instructions. Choose the exam paper that is the right one for you, whether it's foundation, higher or separate. Write down your answers into an exercise book onto a piece of paper. When you've done that, go through the walkthrough. Now the walkthroughs are quite long because what we've tried to do is we've tried to explain where the actual answers come from. Be honest about what you've done. Fantastic those marks that you got right, but the most important thing is which marks you got wrong. Now, in addition to this, now obviously there's a lot of work that's involved in that. Read around, use your revision guides, okay, use your exercise books from school. But ultimately, the more work that you put in, the more effort you put in, the better your grade's going to be. So good luck.